As she sat watching the world go by, something caught her eye. It wasn't so much its color or shape, but the way it was moving. She squinted to see if she could better understand what it was and where it was going, but it didn't help. As she continued to stare into the distance, she didn't understand why this uneasiness was building inside her body. Let me tell you something that might just shift your entire life. Listen closely. There comes a time when you have to look in the mirror, not to fix your appearance, not to check your outfit, but to look deep into your own eyes and ask yourself, who am I living for? Who am I becoming? Because you can't spend your whole life chasing approval, living for other people, shrinking yourself, waiting for permission, and still expect to arrive at your destiny. This world will distract you. It'll hand you 1,000 reasons to drift. Social media will sell you the highlight reel of everyone else's success, relationships, bodies, vacations, money. The world will have you out here comparing your behind the scenes to somebody else's final cut. And in all that noise, you can lose you. But you see, there is power, real, unshakable power, in turning down that noise and tuning into your purpose. There's a divine strength that begins to rise in a person when they finally decide, I'm done outsourcing my worth. I'm done living for everybody else's expectations. It's time I focus on me. Now, don't get it twisted. Focusing on yourself ain't selfish. It's survival, it's strategy, it's sacred, because if you don't build your dream, you're going to end up building somebody else's. If you don't water your own garden, don't be surprised when the weeds take over. If you don't protect your peace, don't be shocked when chaos becomes your default. There is something powerful about a man or a woman who wakes up every day with intention, not to impress, not to entertain, not to chase validation, but to grow, to heal, to grind, to honor the call on their life. That's power. That's purpose. And purpose doesn't need to chase attention. It attracts what's meant for it. See, the people who achieve greatness, the ones who break generational curses, who build legacies, who rise above the noise, they weren't lucky. They were focused. Focused when it was lonely. Focused when it hurt. Focused when nobody clapped for them. Focused when the results were slow. Focused when the world told them you're doing too much. Focused when people laughed behind their backs and whispered, she's dreaming too big. He thinks he's something. They kept going, not because it was easy, but because they knew. You got to know what you're made of. You got to know what you carry. You got to stop waiting for other people to recognize your value before you act like you have any. Sometimes people won't see your vision because it wasn't given to them. It was given to you. That's why it's your responsibility to protect it, nurture it, build it brick by brick in silence, in struggle and sacrifice. And let me tell you something about growth. Real growth is quiet. It doesn't always show up in applause or likes or followers. Sometimes it looks like walking away from toxic people who drain your energy. Sometimes it looks like waking up early to work on your craft. Sometimes it looks like being misunderstood, rejected, underestimated, and still showing up, still choosing you. Let them say what they want. Let them roll their eyes when you don't show up to every party, every drama-filled conversation, every distraction, because while they're running in circles, you're building something. While they're chasing trends, you're building a legacy. While they're busy watching others, you're becoming someone worth watching. You want to be free? Focus on you, not the past, not who hurt you, not who left, not who clapped. You, your healing, your character, your purpose, your relationship with God, your gift. Because when you focus on you, you stop depending on external validation to feel valuable. You begin to realize, I already am enough. I already have what I need to get started. Too many people are waiting for the stars to align, for somebody to choose them, for everything to be perfect before they begin. But let me break the news to you. The perfect moment might never come, but this moment right here, it's enough. You're alive, you're breathing. That means you've got a chance to shift your life. That means purpose is still calling your name. That means your dream is still waiting on you. Now you're going to have to make some hard choices. Focusing on your dream means cutting off the dead weight. It means turning your phone off and working while everyone else is scrolling. It means missing out on temporary pleasure to build long-term peace. It means having vision when nobody else sees what you see. But it also means freedom. It means alignment. It means peace of mind. It means waking up in the morning knowing you're walking in your purpose. It means no longer begging for scraps when you were created for abundance. It means becoming the kind of person who doesn't need to chase blessings because blessings chase you when you're walking in your assignment. So ask yourself, what's keeping you distracted? What's pulling your energy in 100 directions? What's draining your spirit? What are you giving your time to that's not giving life back to you? Because when you say yes to your purpose, you have to say no to a lot of other things. You'll lose some people, yes. You'll lose some comfort. You'll lose some approval, but you'll gain you. And that's a trade worth making every single time. Every great man, every great woman you admire, they had to go through the tunnel of solitude and struggle. They had to bet on themselves when nobody else did. They had to grind in silence. They had to walk away from things that looked good to wait for what was God sent. They had to be misunderstood, doubted, criticized, and keep showing up anyway. You've got that same fire in you, that same strength, that same power. It's not just for the chosen few, it's for the focused few. So what are you going to do with what you've got? Are you going to keep handing your time, energy, and potential to things that don't deserve you? Or are you going to rise up, take responsibility, and say, I'm done playing small. I'm done living distracted. I'm done putting everybody else's dreams before my own. It's my time now. Don't wait for the world to give you permission. Don't wait for somebody to clap for you. Clap for yourself. Encourage yourself. Invest in yourself. Focus on your health. Focus on your mind. Focus on your spirit. Focus on your craft, because when you get you right, everything else begins to align. There's a version of you that you haven't met yet, but it's on the other side of focus, the other side of discipline, the other side of sacrifice. You owe it to yourself to meet that version, not just for you, but for the people who are waiting on what you're carrying. There's someone out there who needs the story you're still writing. So keep writing, keep building, keep showing up, because the moment you truly focus on yourself and your dream, that's when everything changes. As she sat watching the world go by, something caught her eye. It wasn't so much its color or shape, but the way it was moving. She squinted to see if she could better understand what it was and where it was going, but it didn't help. As she continued to stare into the distance, she didn't understand why this uneasiness was building inside her body. And I want you to understand something. Real deep success, real success is not just about talent. It's not about having the best ideas, the most resources, or the loudest voice in the room. It's about consistency. It's about discipline. It's about doing the small things when nobody's watching. It's about showing up for your own life, even when nobody else shows up for you. We live in a world where everybody wants it fast, fast fame, fast money, fast recognition, but anything that comes quick can disappear even quicker. What lasts is what's built with intention. What lasts is what's built through late nights and early mornings, through rejection and redirection, through faith and fire. That's what makes you unstoppable. Not the applause, not the spotlight, but the work you put in when no one's clapping. You see, When you focus on yourself, you take the power back. You stop waiting on a handout. You stop blaming the past. You stop looking around for a savior. You start realizing that every step forward is your responsibility. And that's when the game changes. It's not easy, I'll be honest with you. You're going to have days where you want to give up. You're going to question yourself. You're going to face silence, setbacks, even sabotage. But hear me clearly, the presence of resistance does not mean the absence of purpose. In fact, it's usually the opposite. If the path is tough, if the mountain is high, that's probably the one worth climbing. Diamonds don't form under comfort. Gold doesn't shine without fire. So if you feel the pressure, good. That means you're in the process. That means you're growing. That means you're becoming. Don't back down from it. Don't try to escape it. Lean into it. Let it refine you. Let it shape you. Let it teach you who you really are. Because when you finally get still, when you get quiet with yourself, and you start to tune out the chaos, you begin to hear your own soul speak. You begin to realize what truly matters. Not the likes, not the opinions, not the gossip or the trends, but the mission, the dream, the legacy. That's where your focus belongs. Focusing on yourself doesn't mean you shut the world out. It means you choose where your energy flows. It means you stop being available to everything and everyone that doesn't honor your growth. You learn to say no, not out of arrogance, but out of alignment. You protect your peace like it's sacred, because it is. And watch this. When you begin to focus on your dreams with serious intention, the universe starts moving differently. Doors you didn't even knock on begin to open. People you never thought you'd meet are drawn to your path. Resources appear. Timing aligns, not because it's magic, but because you're finally walking in agreement with your purpose. But here's the part nobody tells you. Before it gets beautiful, it gets uncomfortable. Before the glow up, there's a grow up. You'll have to confront some things. Old habits, limiting beliefs, wounds you tried to bury. You'll have to forgive people who never said sorry. You'll have to let go of people you thought you'd have forever. But every layer you peel back, every chain you break, takes you closer to your power. Don't be afraid of the work. Don't be afraid of being alone for a season. Don't be afraid of being misunderstood. That's the price of elevation. That's the cost of becoming, because not everyone can go where you're headed. Not everyone is meant to understand your journey, and that's okay. It's not your job to convince them. It's your job to keep walking. When you start to focus on your own path, you stop tripping over people's opinions. You stop shrinking yourself just to make others comfortable. You stop playing small because you're afraid of shining too bright. Let me tell you something. Your light doesn't bother the right people. The ones who are for you will celebrate your shine. The rest, let them fall away. You got to make a decision. Either you spend your life watching others live their dreams, or you spend your life building your own. There is no in between. Every moment you give away to distractions, to fear, to comparison, that's time you'll never get back. So use it wisely. Be intentional, be disciplined, be relentless. Your dream wasn't placed in your heart by accident. It was planted there with purpose. But it's your job to water it, to protect it, to pursue it like your life depends on it. Because in many ways it does. Your peace, your fulfillment, your joy, it's all tied to walking in your purpose. And I know it gets tough. I know you want to see results faster. I know it feels like you're giving everything and getting little back. But don't stop. Don't quit. You're not planting seeds for a harvest tomorrow. You're planting for a lifetime, for generations, for something bigger than just you. Keep showing up, keep learning, keep evolving, keep stretching, because there's something inside you that the world hasn't seen yet. There's a level you haven't unlocked yet, but you'll only get there by staying focused. Now, listen, focusing on yourself doesn't mean isolating yourself in bitterness or anger. It means healing. It means reflecting. It means finding joy in your own company. It means becoming so whole, so grounded, so secure that you stop chasing and start attracting. You start drawing in opportunities that match your energy, relationships that respect your value, environments that nurture your growth. Don't let anyone guilt you for choosing you, for growing, for evolving, for changing. You weren't put here to stay the same. You weren't meant to be stuck. You were built to rise, built to move, built to create, built to lead. But you won't reach that next level distracted. You won't reach it pleasing everybody else. You won't reach it doubting your own worth. Every time you choose growth over gossip, you're leveling up. Every time you choose the gym over the club, the book over the binge, the grind over the game, and every level requires a new version of you, one that's sharper, wiser, stronger, more focused, less emotional, more intentional. You don't need to broadcast your moves, just make them. Let your consistency be louder than your words. Let your character speak louder than your image. Let your results shut down every doubt, every hater, every voice that said you couldn't do it. And when it gets quiet, when it feels like nothing's happening, trust the process. Sometimes the most powerful changes are happening underground in the silence, in the dark, like roots before the bloom. You're becoming something greater, even when it doesn't look like it. Don't rush it. Respect the process. That's where real transformation takes place. You've come too far to quit now. You've survived too much to stop now. You've grown too much to go back to who you used to be. So step into your greatness. Step into your calling. Step into the version of yourself that's been waiting for you to finally say, I'm ready, because you are ready. You're ready to stop dimming your light. You're ready to stop playing small. You're ready to stop living for approval. You're ready to become everything God placed inside of you. So protect your focus like your life depends on it, because your future does. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs your authenticity. It needs your voice, your gift, your brilliance. But it'll only see it if you believe it first. Don't die with your dreams still inside of you. Don't bury your potential under fear. Don't let time pass while you hesitate. Start, build, evolve, rise, focus. The rest will follow. As she sat watching the world go by, something caught her eye. It wasn't so much its color or shape, but the way it was moving. She squinted to see if she could better understand what it was and where it was going, but it didn't help. As she continued to stare into the distance, she didn't understand why this uneasiness was building inside her body. And maybe no one told you this before, but you don't need to be perfect to begin. You don't need to have every detail figured out. You don't need every dollar in the bank, every connection lined up, every question answered. All you need is a made-up mind and the courage to start. Start messy, start unsure. Start with fear in your stomach and fire in your soul. Because starting, no matter how shaky, is better than standing still in regret. The truth is, most people never even get started. They wait for the right moment that never comes. They wait for someone to come save them, but no one's coming. They wait for confidence, not realizing that confidence is built in the process, not before it. And while they're waiting, their dream is growing cold, their gifts are gathering dust. But not you. You're different. You're done waiting. You're ready to bet on yourself no matter what it costs. You were never meant to stay in the same place your whole life. Comfort zones are prisons dressed up as safety. You can't grow there. You can't thrive there. You can't dream in color while living in gray. And when you focus on yourself, you start to feel that urge deep inside you, that pull, calling you out of what's familiar and into what's destined, into the unknown, into the uncomfortable, into the next level, man. Letting makes fun. You investment feels secure. You all are there. You are not the same thing up. You will not let me stop pretending. They'll say you're acting brand new because they will never lay clothing. Don't shrink yourself to make them feel. And I tell you right now, you're not the problem. There are so many. There are so many ways to trip you up. You're only responsible for making sure it shines. So don't apologize for outgrowing people. That's what growth does. It reveals who's aligned with your future and who's just a leftover from your past. And the more you focus on yourself, the clearer that becomes. You start to notice who drains you, who fuels you, who distracts you, who supports you in public and not just in private. Your circle starts to reflect your standards, and those standards, they matter. When you focus on your dream, your standards rise. You stop settling. You stop entertaining energy that doesn't match yours. You stop allowing people access to you just because they've known you the longest. Time doesn't equal alignment. History doesn't equal destiny. Focus teaches you to be selective, not out of arrogance, but out of clarity. You finally know what you deserve. You're no longer afraid to walk alone if it means walking in peace. Now hear me. Focusing on yourself doesn't mean you walk in pride. It means you walk in purpose. It means you stop chasing everything outside of you and start cultivating what's inside of you. It means you wake up every day with a mission. You train your mind to believe in possibilities. You set boundaries, not because you're bitter, but because you're building. And anything worth building requires protection. You're building habits that shape your future, thoughts that shift your perspective, routines that support your peace. You're building emotional discipline, learning how to respond with wisdom instead of reacting with chaos. You're building a mindset that doesn't break every time life throws something unexpected. You're building endurance, spiritual, mental, emotional, so that when the storms come, you don't crumble, you rise. It's a version of you that doesn't flinch under pressure, that doesn't fold under criticism, that doesn't need outside approval to keep going. That version is being formed in the fire right now. And it's your focus that keeps you steady in the heat. It's your focus that reminds you, I wasn't made to quit. I wasn't made to blend in. I wasn't made to settle. I was made to rise. So you keep, even when it's hard, even when it's slow, even when you feel unseen, because one day people will look at you and wonder how you did it, how you built it, how you healed, how you kept going when everything told you to stop. And the answer will be simple. You focused. You got serious. You stopped waiting. You stopped explaining. You locked in. There's a quiet kind of power in locking in. You're deciding that you're not available for distractions anymore, that you don't have time to scroll through everybody else's life while ignoring your own, that you'd rather grind in silence than perform for attention, that you'd rather plant roots than chase trends. That's power, that's focus, and it's rare. But just because it's rare doesn't mean it's unreachable. It's within you right now. You don't need permission. You don't need a title. You don't need anybody to co-sign your worth. Just start. Start doing the things that your future self will thank you for. Start showing up like you already believe you belong in the room. Start walking like you're already carrying greatness, because you are. Don't let the fear of failure paralyze you. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's the path to it. Every setback, every delay, every no is refining you, teaching you, strengthening your character, preparing you for what you ask for. Don't pray for a blessing and then walk away from the process that builds you to receive it. Focus pulls you through the process when your feelings try to quit. Your feelings will lie to you. They'll tell you to quit when it gets hard. They'll tell you to give up when you don't see results. But your focus is built on something deeper. It's built on vision, on discipline, on commitment, on knowing that purpose doesn't always feel good, but it is good. And if you stay locked in long enough, that vision in your head will become the life you're living. But you have to trust your grind even when it's not glamorous. You have to keep going when it feels like nobody's noticing. Because success is silent in the beginning. It looks like sacrifice. It feels like repetition. It sounds like crickets. But one day, all that quiet work becomes undeniable. One day, the fruit shows up, the doors open, the right people appear, and it all traces back to the moment you decided, I'm focusing on me now. I'm not waiting anymore. I'm doing this. And the truth is, you're going to have to remind yourself of that decision every single day, because distractions will come dressed as opportunities. Old habits will come knocking like old friends. Doubt will whisper in your ear like a familiar voice. And you've got to be stronger than all of it. You've got to look yourself in the mirror and say, I didn't come this far to stop now. And you didn't. You've been through too much, survived too much, learned too much. There's too much on the line now. You've got people counting on you, even if they don't know it yet. You've got dreams waiting on you to breathe life into them. You've got a destiny that's not just about you, but about everyone you'll impact. Your voice matters, your story matters, your journey matters. So don't give up. Don't settle. Don't slow down. You don't have to rush, but you do have to move. Every day, do something that brings you closer to who you're meant to be. Every day, cut off something that's been holding you back. Every day, speak life into your vision, even if nobody else does, because eventually they will. The same people who doubted you will be the ones quoting you. The ones who question you will be asking for your advice. The ones who ignored you will be studying your blueprint. But that's not your focus. Your focus isn't on proving them wrong. It's on proving yourself right. It's on becoming the person you said you'd be. The person you've always known was inside of you. So give yourself permission to go all in, to dream again, to believe again, to build something that lasts. Let the world keep spinning in chaos if it wants to. You've got work to do. You've got ground to cover. You've got a vision to honor. And every time you choose to focus, every time you turn your back on distraction, every time you silence the noise and tune in to your own soul, you win. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the next step and then the next. Keep showing up. Keep moving forward. Stay focused. Stay grounded, stay committed, because everything you're chasing is already chasing you back. All you have to do is stay locked in long enough to catch it. As she sat watching the world go by, something caught her eye. It wasn't so much its color or shape, but the way it was moving. She squinted to see if she could better understand what it was and where it was going, but it didn't help. As she continued to stare into the distance, she didn't understand why this uneasiness was building inside her body. And let me tell you something else while we're here. Some of the most pivotal moments in your life will happen in isolation. Not when you're surrounded by cheers or applause, but when it's quiet. When nobody is texting you back. When your phone isn't ringing. When your plans fall through and you're left alone with your thoughts, with your fears, with your dreams. That's when the real test begins. That's when the old you tries to bargain with the new you. That's when the voice in your head says, why are you even trying? And you've got to fight back, not with noise, not with distractions, but with truth, with focus, with the reminder that you didn't make it through all those hard nights, all those tears, all those silent prayers just to walk away now. Because when you focus on yourself, you start to find your truth again. The unshakable, non-negotiable truth of who you are and what you're called to do. And once you get a taste of that truth, you can't unsee it, you can't unfeel it, you can't pretend to be satisfied with a life that's anything less than what you were created for. And here's the thing, not everybody will clap for you when you start becoming who you were meant to be. In fact, some people liked you better broken, more agreeable, easier to control, easier to keep small. But you weren't put on this earth to be palatable. You were put here to be powerful, to be bold, to be unapologetically you. And your focus will teach you how to walk in that boldness without asking for permission. You've got to understand, your future is allergic to your past. You can't carry old habits, old relationships, old mindsets into the place you're going. That next level will reject anything that doesn't match its frequency. So stop holding on to what's expired. Stop revisiting doors that were already closed. Stop watering dead things just because you once loved them. There's something greater calling your name, and it won't sound like comfort. It won't sound like convenience. It'll sound like conviction. It'll sound like discomfort, like growth, like stretching in ways you never thought you could. That's the sound of evolution. That's the sound of becoming. And you'll only hear it when your soul gets quiet enough to listen. Some of you are in transition right now. You're in the middle, not where you were, not quite where you want to be. And that middle is where most people quit. That's where they get frustrated. That's where they say, maybe this just isn't for me. But let me tell you something about the middle. The middle is where strength is born. The middle is where warriors are made. So if you're in the middle, don't you dare stop. Don't you dare look back. Keep your focus forward. Keep your eyes on the vision. You might not see all the results yet, but something's happening. Every rep, every step, every early morning, every lonely night, it's adding up. It's working. And when the breakthrough comes, and it will come, it won't be by accident. It'll be the result of your relentless focus. You've got to start trusting your effort. Trust your preparation. Trust your growth. Trust that you don't need to chase opportunity when you become the opportunity. When you've done the inner work, the outer rewards start showing up, not because you begged for them, but because you became the kind of person who naturally attracts them. When you focus on yourself, you shift from chasing to attracting. You stop knocking on doors that were never built for you and start building your own. You stop asking people to see your worth and start walking like you already know it. That's what focus does. It recenters you. It reclaims your power. And yes, there will be sacrifices. Yes, you'll have to walk away from some things, but you won't miss out. You'll gain more than you lose. Peace, clarity, confidence, alignment, purpose, real joy. The kind of joy that doesn't need a vacation, doesn't need a filter, doesn't need validation, just you and your truth standing tall. You know what's crazy? You've always had it in you. You've always had the fire, the gift, the intuition, but the noise of the world made you forget, made you doubt, made you trade your vision for comfort. But now you remember. Now you see. Now you're waking up to the greatness that was never gone, just waiting to be noticed. And now that you've seen it, you can't go back. You can't unknow your potential. You can't pretend that average feels good. You're not built for mediocre. You're not built for small talk and shallow connections. You're built for depth, for purpose, for legacy. But legacy doesn't come cheap. It costs focus. It costs discipline. It costs staying in the game when everyone else clocks out. So clock in, show up every day, even when motivation disappears. Let discipline carry you. Let routine anchor you. Let your why be louder than your excuses. Because excuses don't build empires. Excuses don't write books. Excuses don't start businesses. Excuses don't raise strong children. Excuses don't change lives. But you can. You will if you focus. Don't wait for inspiration. Create it. Don't wait for the right people. Be the right person. Don't wait for permission. You're grown, you're gifted, you're called. It's all the permission you need. Lock in. Lock in so deep that people think you disappeared. Let them wonder where you've been. Let them talk. Let them assume. Because when you reemerge, you'll be unrecognizable. A force, a vision realized, a dream fulfilled, a person who refused to settle. Let your silence be sacred. Let your progress be private until it's undeniable. You don't owe anyone a status update. You owe yourself a transformation. Let them think you're being distant when really you're just being devoted. Devoted to your growth, your calling, your elevation. And I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight. I'm saying it's going to happen over time, bit by bit, brick by brick, breath by breath. That's how you build something that lasts. That's how you build something that doesn't break when life hits, because it will hit. But you'll be rooted, grounded, focused. And don't worry if they laugh now. Don't worry if they roll their eyes, if they say you're doing too much. They'll get it later. Or they won't. That's what matters. Because you didn't do it for them. You did it for the younger you, the wounded you, the doubting you, the you who almost gave up. You did it for the future you, the one who's going to look back one day and say, thank God I stayed focused. That's the you you're working for now. The you who's free. The you who's whole. The you who walks into rooms with purpose, not to be seen, but to make impact. That version of you is already waiting on the other side of your commitment, and the only way to meet them is to stay locked in. So get back to it. Get back to writing that book, building that business, honoring that health journey, mending that relationship, healing that trauma, tuning out the noise, turning up your focus. Because this world doesn't need more distracted minds. It needs more people who know who they are and why they're here. And that's you. You're not just here to pass time. You're here to make waves, to break chains, to light paths for others. But first, you've got to focus on your own. So stay hungry, stay humble, stay grounded, keep growing, keep grinding, keep praying, keep pushing. You've got something inside you that the world needs, and it can't come out if you keep living distracted. So eliminate the noise, starve the excuses, feed the vision. And remember, every time you focus, you take one more step toward the life you were born to live. Every time you focus, you get stronger, sharper, wiser, closer. Every time you focus, you rise, you become. You unlock a version of yourself that's been patiently waiting to be revealed. So don't stop now. You've come too far. You've cried too many tears. You've sacrificed too much. The pain wasn't for nothing. The waiting wasn't in vain. The battle wasn't wasted. It was preparation, it was fuel, it was molding the kind of person who can carry the weight of a dream fulfilled, and that's exactly who you are becoming, one focused step at a time. As she sat watching the world go by, something caught her eye. It wasn't so much its color or shape, but the way it was moving. She squinted to see if she could better understand what it was and where it was going. But it didn't help. As she continued to stare into the distance, she didn't understand why this uneasiness was building inside her body. And as we close this chapter, I want you to remember something important. The power is always within you. The moment you decided to focus, to commit to your dreams, to take that first step, you are already on the path to greatness. The world will tell you it's too hard, that you're not enough, that you should wait. But you've already heard your calling, and now you've got to walk that path with purpose. This journey is yours, and it's not about how fast you go, but how relentlessly you move forward, step by step, focused on the vision that's been planted inside of you. There will be challenges. There will be moments when it feels like everything is against you. But know this, the struggle is part of the success. The setbacks are part of the comeback. Every sacrifice, every moment of doubt will only make the victory that much sweeter. So keep your head high, keep your heart focused, keep your hands working. Don't get distracted by what's happening around you. Stay locked in on your own journey. Stay true to yourself and trust the process. Because your dream is not only worth it, it's necessary. You were born to achieve it. The world needs your story. The world needs your fire. And most of all, the world needs the version of you that has chosen to stay focused, to stay disciplined, and to stay committed no matter what. Keep moving, keep believing, and never forget, you've got everything you need to win. Keep focusing and the rest will follow.